So it goes from bad to worse for Celtic in the end this week as they're knocked out on penalties by Kairat Almaty, and the wait goes on for not just Celtic to win in Kazakhstan. I actually ended up seeing on social media just before the game that Scottish national sides and Scottish sides that have gone over to Kazakhstan, we have a horrible record over there apparently, overall, the Scots. But the wait goes on for the win, and Celtic knocked out after missing three penalties, and it's back-to-back shootout losses for Celtic after the Scottish Cup final as well, and Kairat advance to the group stages of the Champions League. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they were the only team still in it from qualifier round one. Didn't concede a single goal at home, so fair play to them for making it. But you would have to say, with the chances that Celtic created towards the end of that game, as well, in particular in the massive Dyson Maeda chance one-on-one with the goalkeeper, Celtic will be feeling very aggrieved that they haven't made it to the Champions League, as well as everybody when this draw was made online in terms of chances to make it. It was couldn't really ask for a better draw, especially playing at home first, so that you can score as many goals as possible to get the job done. But Celtic failed to score in 90 minutes of football, which actually it was more like 100 minutes of football at home, and then a further 120 minutes of football away from home. Yes, there was some good saves made by goalkeepers in both legs. Not a lot of chances created at home though. Big chances missed by Maida in both legs as well, you have to say. But you know, you can make it all the excuses you want, but Celtic should have gone through this tie, and for the first time in 3 seasons, Celtic will find themselves in the Europa League. Which, you know, arguably, depending on the draw that gets given, it could actually, I've seen some people on social media saying it could be beneficial for Scottish football that Celtic are not in the Champions League, more chance of winning and picking up coefficient points, but only if performances are better. You can, again, make the excuse of 3,000 metres above sea level and the humidity, but Kairat had to make the trip last week and they managed to get a 0-0 draw away from home. Yes, Celtic are not used to playing in those conditions, but you should have the quality to get over the line, and they did pass up big chances as well. It'll be interesting to see what the reaction is from Brendan Rodgers. He has been asking for reinforcements, and he, as of yet, they still haven't come in. And it'll also be interesting to see what happens at the weekend now. You would anticipate the Rangers probably won't go extra time tomorrow, although if they put in a mega performance, they could. Celtic have not only gone into extra time, but they have a huge trip back, so this could impact the Derby game at the weekend. But you feel as though the Derby game, with the mood around both clubs now, Celtic fans not happy that the board has gambled the Champions League space and it hasn't paid off in the end. Yes, Celtic should have had the quality to go through the tie anyway, but when your players aren't clicking, you need to have that quality to turn to on the bench. In fairness, for Scotland, Colby Donovan and Dane Murray looked good when they came on. So that's a positive, I suppose. Donovan looked a lot better than Ralston anyway. Ralston, I thought, had a shocker. Yang had a shocker. I missed most of the first half, but by all accounts, he was even worse than what I actually saw of him. The midfield were misplacing passes all night. The pitch wasn't in great condition, has to be said, but again, you should have, the pitch is in that condition for both players, so you should have that. And again, Celtic really poor from penalties as well. It seems to have been an issue for a while. Yes, they won the penalty shootout in the semi-final against Aberdeen and won the final against Rangers in the League Cup, but it seems like Celtic always have a penalty miss in them. And incidentally, yes, Callum McGregor scored after his miss against Aberdeen in the cup final, but Arne Engels was the only one that looked like a confident penalty, and he was the regular penalty taker. So it is what it is. It feels like the Derby game, like I said at the weekend, is a must-win for both sides because of the feeling around the clubs. And Celtic need to start getting some business done. The board, it will be interesting to see how they address the whole situation. They decided not to do the business and see if they would wait to get to the Champions League. But now it's Europa League, and they said when Rodgers came back in that the reason they were saving the money was in case they didn't make it to the Champions League at one point. It's now happened, so we'll see where it goes from here. We'll see what kind of draw Celtic get in the Europa League, and also what kind of draw the other teams get if it's Europa League, Champions League or Conference League. We'll wait to see. That's going to do it for the reaction though. Thank you very much for watching. If you are new around here, please consider checking out some of the other content on the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one.